Broadcasting live from an Airstream somewhere in Tornado Alley, bringing you the people, places, and stories from the Panhandle to the Red River. This is your Only in Oklahoma show.
And welcome to the show. Today we're talking food trucks. It's that time of year. It's almost time for all the food trucks to be out, but we're talking to the one, the only, the Blue Jays Rollin Grill. They got a restaurant opening coming up this spring. We had a chance to holler at them. I'm Brett.
And I'm Harley.
You know,
You say ridiculous stuff all the time. You know that, right?
You're supposed to.
No, you are not supposed to. You announce, you come into the show. It's that time of year again where we're coming up on the time when it's almost warm enough to be doing outside activities.
Yeah.
But you don't start it. It's that time of year again.
Okay. We're just going to keep going?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to keep going. So you and I have, we fancy a food truck. We've had a few.
I think I'm getting close to the body figure
Of a food truck?
Best known as round. So
no, what is it? What's the word? Rubenesque?
No, I think round, like a basketball.
Oh, please. You're learned in the ways of the culinary arts. You like food.
I do like food.
Do you trust someone? Do you trust a skinny chef?
No.
I don't either.
But I'm not a chef.
But yet we have somebody tiny, Shali, who makes all these wonderful sweets. So I don't know. I don't know what to believe. There's got to be some black magic to it. But I like a good old food truck.
I do too. I think some of the best food comes off a food truck, to be completely honest.
Because most of them cook on a flat top. I think the best burger you're going to get, don't get me wrong, I like a charcoal grill. Give me but I like something cooked on a flat top where they have to squeeze the grease on there and scrape it off. And I need my grill to have a little history.
Well, I think the guys over at Blue Jays Rollin Grill have a little history on their cooktop.
Oh, yeah.
And I felt like that was a decent transition, but
then
you looked at me like I was...
No, we're keeping it, too.
Oh, we're keeping it.
Yeah, we're keeping it.
So Blue Jays Rollin Grill
is rolling up
right after this.
All right, 6 goes into 7. 1 is... God, I'm so frustrated. I'm scared to death. I'm an independent contractor, and I don't want to get punched in the jimmy by the IRS.
Brett, why don't you give our buddy Justin over at the Holliday Tax Group a call? One of their specialties is tax preparation and planning. And then on top of that, if you have a run-in with the IRS, they're going to have your back.
Perfect. But how do I find them?
You can reach them at holidaytaxgroup.com. And if the independent contractor thing works out for you, they also do estate planning. So they got you back on that one as well.
Oh, thank goodness. Thanks for the advice. That's holidaytaxgroup.com. Holiday with 2 L's. Well, chances are likely if you've been to Blue Garden, if you've been to food trucks or Food Truck Fridays or Beats and Bites or been anywhere in town, you've probably seen, hopefully tasted Blue Jays Rollin Grill. Today, we're lucky enough to have the owners, the operators, the proprietors, the king and queen of hamburgers. It's Josh and Michelle Spurlock. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hello.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Well, we know that you're not from around here. You're not from these parts originally. What brought a couple of folks from Ohio to Oklahoma to make hamburgers on a rock and roll food truck?
We were tired of being Yankees and just tired of being the weather.
I mean, that's a great reason.
We originally moved to Texas. We were there for 3 years, and then I had gotten a job with a lumber company, did outside sales, and that's what brought me to Edmond. Moved on from that.
So the best part for me is always getting to talk about the food. I've been lucky enough to taste it. You guys have a great thing going. What did you do before you decided to do the food truck? I mean, what was the genesis of the food truck?
Prior to this, we owned a commercial cleaning company for 10 years, and I've always had a passion for cooking, but I had it in my head that since I don't have any culinary training, that I couldn't do this. And, I used to watch diners, drive-ins, and dives, and it occurred to me that a lot of these people who started restaurants, they don't have that either. They just have a passion for food. And of course, my wife, she encouraged me to do this and told me that I could. And after listening to her for a while, I realized, maybe I should give this a shot. And that's what led us into it. And I could not be the person that I am today without her. She's my everything.
In other words, what he's trying to say is I'm always right.
Well, I've met you. I don't know about that. I'm just kidding.
Thanks a lot.
We got the enjoyment of working for ourselves, and the cleaning company was good. It taught us a lot, but I just started to be passionate about that, and I wanted to do something that I'm passionate about. So, yeah, we started this. We started looking into the food truck. We actually started looking into restaurants first and realized it was a lot cheaper to get into a food truck. And if it didn't work out, I mean, it wasn't going to destroy us, and we wouldn't lose everything. So that's kind of what brought us into that.
So when did you guys get started exactly?
We started Rollin in mid-November of 2016. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you've been doing this for a little bit more than 3 years, and I've seen you all over town. You guys are in the process of putting in an actual restaurant?
We're about 4 weeks away from the completion of the construction, and that's going to be in the Edmond rail yard.
That's a great location. A lot of stuff popping up over there. Isn't that, it's kind of a new area, right? I mean, not a new development over there.
Yeah, it's a new area, a new concept for Edmond. I think that it's been kind of a spin-off of things that are going on, like with the collective and the parlor, but it's a little bit different.
So you guys, started with the food truck. Obviously, that started to go well for you.
So can you get Brett is super familiar with your food, me not so much, and our listeners maybe not as much as well. Can you kind of give us a rundown of what kind of food you guys serve and what differentiates you from the food truck next door?
We do gourmet burgers, gourmet fries. One thing for me is, everyone thinks when they think of hamburgers, they're thinking mayonnaise, lettuce, tomato, all that stuff. And I wanted to kind of venture away from that, do something innovative and different. So instead of using, lettuce or tomato, we use purple cabbage and spinach as one of our main things, and pickles, where you get the acidity of the pickle, you get the sweet and the crunch from the cabbage, and you get the bitterness from the spinach, and that kind of comes together as an umami, if you will, of just a different taste and a different spin on the hamburger, because the whole lettuce and tomato, it's been done 1,000 times, and a lot of restaurants do that, and there's nothing wrong with it. And we've actually had a lot of people, ask why we don't do that. And to me, it's just, I just kind of wanted to do something new with that. The fries we have salt and vinegar fries. We have chili lime fries, which if anyone's familiar with Sabertoni chips, there's those wheat puffs that have the chili lime. They kind of taste like that. We do truffle fries, which is our main seller. If you haven't had truffle fries, you have to have them. You have to come try them out.
You do, definitely.
Yeah. And then, of course, chili cheese fries, stuff like that. But
Cincinnati.
Yeah, and it's a Cincinnati style chili. It's a lot milder. It has a Mediterranean influence.
No, I was going to say a couple of years ago, I know you guys are in the thick of things and on notice with everyone because you were at the Food Truck Championship a couple of years ago. I thought you got ripped off, but that's neither here nor there. You guys have just a well thought out menu. The question is, moving forward, how do you a food truck? I think most restaurants, new restaurants especially, make a huge mistake with, and this is a Gordon Ramsay 101 thing, like having way too many menu items, way too many variances of genre. When you're moving into the new restaurant, will you expand on the menu? Obviously, you're going to do more than what you would on a food truck, but how big and broad are we going to get with the restaurant?
Not much different. It's going to be the exact same burgers, the exact same fries. I will have mac and cheese there because I'll be able to do it correctly, where on the truck I couldn't do it because I had to have it on a steam table and it would separate within 15 or 20 minutes. It would just drive me nuts. So I'll have that at the restaurant, mac and cheese, truffle mac, chili cheese mac, you name it.
Yeah, I've had the mac. I don't know how I think I had the mac and cheese at the tasting when I worked for the local radio station, as I used air quotes. And a lot of people had talked in the early genesis again of the food truck. A lot of people talked about that macaroni and cheese. And the last time I was there, I was looking on the menu. I didn't want to ask, but I noticed that it disappeared. And now I know why. Makes sense.
Yeah, I wasn't happy with it on the steam table. And at the restaurant, we'll be able to keep it in a hot hole where it won't separate so quickly or even evolve. I'm not into putting out a product that doesn't make me happy. If it doesn't make me happy, I'm not going to serve it to anybody. But yeah, the menu in and of itself, is it going to get much larger? And I do want to periodically, feature dishes from around the country for a period, maybe just like per quarter or whatever. But I'm not going to get crazy with it. I learned my lesson too from watching shows like the Gordon Ramsay stuff. And
absolutely. So my next question is more about how does this affect the truck? Is the truck going in the garage for a season, or will you be on the road and on the sidewalk?
Yeah, actually, we are planning on ramping up the truck and getting it out more than we've ever had it. And while we're doing the restaurant, I'm going to be in the restaurant. I'm going to have, a team running the truck for me. So yeah, the truck's not going to get parked. It's going to be out more than it's ever been. That's the goal. So
scheduling wise, I was looking at your schedule. You guys are kind of doing a little bit this week. Is seasonally, have you seen kind of a slowdown through the winter months? Is there not as much on the calendar? Are you doing more just private lunches and lunch type schedules?
Winter time is always a tough time for food trucks. And, there's not events going on. People don't like to be out in the cold, things of that nature. So you find different ways to deal with that and do different things. And one of the things that's helped us over time is we've built relationships with various businesses and stuff. And so it makes it good because we go to those all the time throughout the winter and stuff. In fact, one of the main places we go a lot, and we don't really post this because it's kind of, in a sense, more of a private thing in a way, but we go to Tinker a lot, and not just anybody can go on base.
Right.
So we spend a lot of time there in the winter and stuff like that. Once March hits, things start kicking off again, and then you're out more and stuff like that.
So what is the best way if we want to book, if somebody wants to book you for an event
or track you down,
what is the best way right now to do it? Granted, you guys are so busy with everything. I'm sure you've got a full schedule with the restaurant and trying to squeeze in daytime gig. What's the best way to try to get in there on the rotation?
We have a website, and I try to keep that up to date on where we're going. I post it according to every month, or you could email me directly. It would be Michelle, Michelle, @JMS as in Sam, restaurantgroup.com, or they could also call us. Our phone number would be 405-824-4462. They can follow us on social media. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We post all that stuff on there too, so we keep everything. It's even more up to date, than the website is. So those are pretty much the best ways to reach us.
All right, so tour schedule, obviously, at BlueJaysRollinGrill.com. So as far as the restaurant opening, do we have a tentative grand opening for that restaurant?
Well, anytime you're doing new construction, there's so many variables involved, so you just don't, usually have a definite right away. But our goal is around the first part of March.
Okay, awesome. So don't start pitching tents on the sidewalk just yet. Okay, I got you.
So we're somewhat on track for that. We're just trying to make sure we've got all our ducks in a row and do that.
Well, Josh, Michelle, you guys and gal, you do a freaking bang up job. I've had your food multiple times. I love seeing you guys out and about, and it's nice to see that even, most restaurants, new restaurants, don't last 3 years. There's so many things to compete with out there in an industry with food trucks as it is right now. There's been this huge explosion over the last decade with food. There's a food truck on every corner now, competing with a taco truck on the other corner. So the fact that you guys have made it, you've made it this long, and you're moving forward and constantly, and Josh, you're always posting something inspirational on Facebook, and I love you for doing that, chasing your dreams and making it happen. I mean, and considering you're not from here, you came here and decided to, this is what our great-grandparents did. Not to get, I'm not trying to stroke you too much here, but this is what our great-grandparents did. They came here, they settled, and then they made a life for themselves. So I got to say, you guys are doing a great job.
Thank you. And to be honest with you, the first time I visited Oklahoma, I felt like I was home. It was just really odd and surreal. But I mean, I've fallen in love with the Oklahoma people, and the Oklahoma standard is a beautiful thing. And I love this state. I love these people, and I'm glad to call it my home. I'm proud to be here.
Well, thanks, y'all, for being on the show. You're exactly, it's one thing. We talk about stuff on here all the time about Oklahoma, and it's one thing to just talk about a burger. It's another thing to talk about the people that are delivering, and you guys fit the bill. Thanks for being on.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
By the way, the transition you gave before the interview,
yeah,
we teetered on the verge of promoting another food truck called Rolled Up. I'm just saying. They're really good. They've wraps that weigh 2 pounds. But anyway, we'll get to them.
We're coming for you.
We're coming for you with both hands. I think they got a great thing going. They came from Ohio on a trip to do something else, work, and then they ended up landing a gig owning a freaking food truck and now a restaurant.
And I feel like the best people in the world started off in Ohio and ended up in Oklahoma.
Yes, I see where you're going with that. You started off in Ohio
and ended up in Oklahoma. Weird. That's a weird coincidence.
But yet you told tales of a man that sold mustard hamburgers off the back of a wagon, and we're doing this. That should have been I said Genesis 5 or 6 times during the interview, but that should have been your call to action. We should be running a freaking hot dog wagon.
A great interview, though. Josh and Michelle seem super awesome. I love the concept of not doing the same old thing,
and it works. And they what they didn't get into, and it's probably a little bit on us, but you can get a turkey burger, you can get a burger wrapped in lettuce. I mean, bunless burgers. They've got tons of options. Their fries are fantastic.
Do they have a keto version of their fries?
Is there such thing?
No.
I wish there was, because I need it. Made out of almonds?
Made out of almonds. It sounds disgusting. Let's not do that.
Well, I did see a pizza crust made out of chicken. True story. And it looks fantastic. But, yeah, they've got a great business model. And, just like I said, and you and I talk about restaurants, new restaurants, and we left restaurants going, this place isn't going to be here next year. And I'd say about, 5 out of 10 times we're right. The fact that you got a food truck, and then a lot of times it goes the other way. The restaurant to the food truck.
Right.
But I've seen, Big Truck Tacos is an example of a food truck that went restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great business model, but it's so rare. Or is it? I don't know.
I don't know either.
You don't see a lot of it, and I just like what they bring to the table. And Josh's love for food, and kind of taking a chance and saying, you know what? I love to cook.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's important. The kind of going out on a limb there, going, you know what? I'm not happy doing what I'm doing,
and
I think I would be happy doing this thing.
Yeah.
It's admirable.
Oh, see, we both said something. We both used a big word, and I probably didn't say it right. And you saying it right covered mine up, so.
Probably. Yeah, we're good.
But anyway, so if you get a chance, folks, check out Blue Jay's Rollin Grill. Also, they've got the restaurant that's going to be coming sometime this spring. No, you heard it, folks. No, for sure deadline. You know how it is. But yeah, definitely check them out, bluejaysrollingrill.com, and on Facebook. Hey, if you think we're doing something wrong, you want us to check out your food truck, you know what to do. Find us, onlyanokShow.com. Find us on Facebook. This has been the Only an OK Show. I'm Brett.
And I'm Harley.
Peace. And welcome to the show. It's getting to be about that time of year.
You didn't 3, 2, 1 or nothing.
I
always end with 3, 2, 1. And when you don't do 3, 2, 1, then I can't end the bloopers.
But wait a second.
With the 3, 2, 1.
You used to tell me, don't do. I don't know why you count down.
No. See, the problem is the countdown. Here's what you do. You'd go 3, 2, 1. And welcome to the show.
Right, okay.
Like your 1 and your welcome to the show were the same word. It was welcome to the show.
Well, I kind of feel like we need to do the Lethal Weapon thing. Are we going on 3? Or are we going on 2? Or is it, are we going on 1 or are we going on 3? Remember that?
Yes. But I think you messed it up.
I did mess it up.
You're grounded.
They're doing a new Lethal Weapon. Glenny Glover.
Lenny.
What am I? Freaking Harry Carey. Danny Glover and Mel Gibson. That's a hard word to say, Danny Glover.
I don't think that Danny Glover is a hard word to say.
I just said it without.
And it's not a word, it's a name. It's 2 words.
Well, I know, but.
Okay.
Glover. Is it 2-syllable word?
Yes.
Yeah, see?
What?
I did a thing. All right. 3, 2. See, what did you
do? 3, 2, 1?
I know, but this is shiny shiny objects, squirrels in a tree. All right. 3, 2, 1. And welcome to the show. You know, it's getting to be that time of year. Fruit truck? Why can't I say words?
I love fruit.
Fruit and Danny Glitter. Danny Glitter. All right. 3, 2, 1. Golly, see?
Danny Glitter.
Okay.
All right.
3, 2, 1. What are you doing?
I'm waiting for you to
You're
say...
waiting for me to mess up so you can laugh.
Yes.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Danny Glitter.
Danny Glitter.
Sounds like you've been drinking all day. Danny Glitter.
Danny Glitter and Mel Gibson.
Milk Gribsons.
Milk Gribskins. Milk Gribskins. All right. And 3, 2.
You know, if they do another... I'm sorry. That was horrible. But if they do another Lethal Weapon... They're not going to be able to have Mel Gibson. They're going to have Milk Gibson.
Milk Gibson. What is the over-under that they say at least one time in the movie? I told you we were too old for this shit.
Oh, no, it's 100%. There's no over-under. It's literally 100%.
Yeah.
It's like having Schwarzenegger in a Terminator movie and him not saying, I'll be back. Or
I'm too old to be back. I'm not coming back. I'm too sore to come back. Well, they did that a little bit in the Bad Boys. Bad Boys was really good, by the way. But I knew it. I told Tara, I was like, what is the chances that they make about 100? Too old, too young guns. Look at these young folks. Okay, boomer stuff. They did quite a bit, but it played. It did well. All right. 3, 2, 1. And welcome to the... was that too close to the 1?
Probably. I don't know.
Okay. And 3, 2, 1.